Today's the day we are going to get the car tuned. It's crazy, just like, what was it? Like 5-6 months ago, we got the car tuned and Shredder was like, oh no, there are some problems. And that's when I knew that I was gonna have to get a new motor or rebuild mine. And here we are. We're going to get the base tune put on the car today. I can confirm that adjusting the clutch cable did not get rid of the throttle bearing noise. I still have the throttle bearing noise. It seems a little bit more faint, but it is still there. There's definitely something going on in there. Schrader's in there touching Mustangs. He's always doing that. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think that bird up there wants to get a dyno tune. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like, hey, I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. So I'm going to leave the car with Schrader for a while. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna take most of the day. As much as I would like to stay with the car all day, I've got a lot going on right now in my business. Jesus, the legend, the bright mare.
What's your name?
Steve Schrader.
Sound like you had a supercharger on there.
There he is.
I just love listening to it. Just oh, look at it sliding in there. Oh, it just slithered in the door there. Oh man, I just love this car. Is not paying attention at all to his window. I'm gonna scare the shit out of him. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Did you get scared?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, we're back. Oh man, let's hope for some really good stuff, some good drivability, some good numbers. I'm excited. Really. Yeah. Guys, I'm guessing that humming noise is the throttle bearing. Like I can hear it pretty loud in here. Like that. The squealing. You guys hear that? I think that's the throttle bearing. Pretty sure it is. Oh man. Well, either way, let's just get it tuned. Let's get this good. We'll deal with the throttle bearing later. Here we go. So loud. I'm not even going to cover my ears. I want to hear it. Make me deaf. Make me deaf. I don't care. It's all good.
A little bit more that time, 445.
445. What was it, 441? So we got a little more.
A couple more horsepower there to smooth it out a little bit. Okay. Check the boost on that one. It's getting hot in here, so the boost dropped just a tad more. Peaked at 13.6, but at the top of the RPM graph, you've only got 10 pounds.
So, okay. So that basically means I'm peaking at 10 pounds, or?
Well, it peaks at 13.5, but that's through the meaty part of the curve at 4,000, and then by the time you get all the way up here to 6,000, the Eaton just can't keep up with the cams.
Yeah.
So you're falling off to 10 pounds at the top end of the graph, which just hurts your horsepower number. So everybody that focuses on this big 445 number is only focusing on this top section of the graph, but they don't realize that the boost has dropped off 5 pounds because you have cams now.
So basically I've got really big cams and a really small blower, and it's not working right because of that.
Yeah, it's just the blower can't keep up with it anymore.
Yeah.
The cams are, the cams are doing what they're supposed to do, which is making the engine perform better. It's more efficient. Yeah. But the blower's just too small. It can't shove enough loose pressure through it now. So it's falling off.
So at some point I'm gonna have to get a Whipple.
All you need is a bigger blower.
Oh,
more boost.
Okay. The other thing is that I've got long tube headers, no cats, and roll attacks, and so I basically have like no back pressure, and I'm forcing more air out, right? That's basically putting it?
Yeah, the more free flowing you make this engine, the more blower you're going to need to keep up.
Right.
So this was your graph from last time. No cams, but still had the ported blower. Your boost was at 17.5 peak. Now you're 13.5, so you've lost 4 pounds of boost with the cams, peak to peak, but you lost even more than that on the top end because we're going all the way down to 10 psi, the very top end of the graph.
Okay.
So the blower just can't keep up. You could put a lower pulley on there and turn it up a little more, but it's just going to get less and less efficient. It's probably not going to make much more peak power.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like financially it would make sense to just get a different blower.
Whipple.
I just wanted to show you guys that so that you know that getting a tune did not make my cam sound go away. A lot of people were thinking I was going to lose the cam sound with a tune. Got a good tune, still got the chop. It actually sounds like it's chopping harder. I lost power, but I gained chop. So I know that was a shocker. I lost a lot of power. The last time I got my car dynoed at Schrader's, what was like 7-8 months ago. When I was having issues before we had the new motor put in, we made 471 wheel horsepower at 5,600 RPM. And here's that actual graph right here. So this is the comparison between the last dyno, which was like 7-8 months ago, on my last block, which had one cylinder that was failing and a heating problem. We made 471 at 5,600 RPM. Last week we did this. This video was actually filmed last week, by the way. We made 445 wheel horsepower, or 446 basically, at 6,300 RPM, or basically 6,400 RPM. At the top of the RPM range, I'm making like 10 pounds of boost. That's crazy. Now, all of you guys know that back in the day, we got the car dynoed and we made the famous 530 wheel horsepower.
Well, this Terminator is 530 wheel horsepower and 525 foot-pounds of torque.
I didn't actually make 530, I just rounded up for David's video. I made 526.88. That's the amount of power that I actually made in 2013 before the famous David Patterson, That Dude in Blue review. And so then we titled the video Crazy, I don't remember exactly the title, but it had 530 wheel horsepower in the title. This is Schrader's dyno from 2013. 2013, this was 7/10/2013 at 3:35 p.m. Check this out. These are my numbers from back then. These are the actual numbers on my Cobra back in 2013. 526 rear wheel horsepower and 530 foot-pounds of torque. And this is at 17 pounds of boost. 2013. That's the original dyno sheet that I read off of to tell David Patterson, hey, made 530 rear wheel horsepower on a bolt-ons Cobra, right? So back then, you know, I was on cloud 9. I made a crap ton of power on some bolt-ons. Well, other than the Ported Eaton. Ported Eaton, Cook's headers, 60-pound injectors, Borla attack catbacks, off-road X, 4-pound lower pulley, 2.7 upper pulley, cold air intake, AFCO heat exchanger, what else? Coolant, Moroso coolant expansion tank, and I think the Mafia mass airflow and AccuFab throttle body, and I had a couple of other small things that I can't think of right off the top of my head. But pretty much all the normal bolt-ons for a Terminator Cobra were on my Cobra back then, and they still are. It's kind of funny, but like ever since 2013, my power numbers have been dropping and dropping and dropping. Oh, that's not my car. The blower can't handle these big stage 3 comp cams. So basically, past 5,000 RPMs with the Ported Eaton and these big cams, the blower is just falling on its face. And this is new to me. It's very possible that like this is the amount of power that you actually lose if you have cams that are way too big for a blower. But it is just kind of sad that I'm seeing like pulleyed Eaton cars that are making like 500 wheel. One thing that's really important to me is I don't want you guys to go and start blaming Blue Motorsports or Schrader Performance for my loss in power. It's not their fault. They've been great, so I don't want in any way, shape, or form this video to be some sort of representation or slander on either of those two companies. I'm just putting my experience out here. That's what I've always done. I've always put my experience out here and talk to you guys about it, troubleshot, and that's what I love doing. I love engaging with you guys, engaging with the community, and fixing problems, but not only just fixing problems, but showing you guys what I'm going through so that some of you guys that don't have Terminator Cobras yet in the future can look back on these videos and be like, oh, this is what Jordan went through as he was, you know, learning through the process, and you know, so we can learn from this as well. And I've had my Terminator Cobra since 2012, so I've now had the car 8 years, and I've went through a lot with it. I like legitimately think that it was just not good weather conditions. Humidity was high last week. It was like 100 degrees, and then on top of that, around 6,000 RPMs, which is where I used to make the most power, we lost literally 7 pounds of boost. We went from having 17 pounds of boost in 2013, making 526 wheel horsepower, to 10 pounds of boost, because I have these giant cams that are pushing out all this air, and the little blower is just falling on its face. And that's what I think the problem is. I've done a ton of research on like SVT performance and went into the forums and looked into all this stuff, and it seems like that's actually what the issue is, that this blower can't handle these big cams. So at that point, I just want to end this off by saying I think it's time to upgrade the blower. I don't really have the money right now, but I think if I can sell the Ported Eaton, I can maybe have another merch launch and get my business back on its feet. It's possible that we could go ahead and get a Whipple this year. I would also need a new fuel system, so maybe some dual fuel pumps to upgrade the stock system, because it's just not going to handle a Whipple. I have some friends that are selling 2.3 Whipples, and that's kind of what I would be looking at, getting a 2.3 Whipple at least for the next couple of years, running that for a while, and then I would sell it and get something else. But I want to know what you guys would like to see down in the comment box below. I've had some people say, you know what, whatever, you've got 440 wheel horsepower, just get a paint job now. I know my paint sucks. I'm completely aware of that. My paint got ruined a few years back, and it devastated me when that happened. If you guys haven't seen that story, I will link that in the description so you can go watch how my paint got messed up. But I would like to get a Whipple. It kind of hurts to be at one point having 530 wheel horsepower, and then now I have 440. I can feel it. I remember how the car felt at Mustang Week in 2013, I believe it was, 2014. I remember how the car felt when we did the review with David Patterson. It felt insanely beefy and torquey back then. It was insane, the amount of torque. 530 foot-pounds of torque on a Ported Eaton. Those are insane numbers, and I had 100,000 miles. It's crazy to me that car did that kind of numbers back then, but now I'm just backtracking. So I'm ready to get things moving forward again with power. And the car needs, don't get me wrong, the car needs a lot of restoration stuff. but I can't stand having under 500 wheel horsepower. Let me just end this off by saying, like, please don't be mean to either me or anybody that I work with. Like, this is part of building a car. Things like this happen, and I'm learning as I go. So, like, if you want to crap on me and show how much smarter than me you are about this stuff, go ahead. I'm not a mechanic. I'm learning every single day something new. I'm a filmmaker, a marketer, someone who likes to build businesses or tries to build businesses, and I also love to connect with the community and share with you guys, and that's it. A lot of you guys know way more than me about cars, and I know that, and I don't claim to know everything. I'm still learning. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know everyone's probably a little disappointed that we made way less power as opposed to like more power, and I'm sure like some guys are gonna shit on me and be like, I told you we didn't make 550. I'm still learning about engine science, guys. I was being optimistic because I'm an optimistic person. It didn't go that direction. We're a little let down. We're gonna figure this out, hopefully get a Whipple this year if we can, financially, if that could happen. I would love for that to happen, and I'm just like, again, being optimistic that we can make that happen and push the channel in the right direction. I'm ranting, guys. Much love. I will see you guys next video. Comment if you have any questions or concerns or input. Try to be nice. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and share this video if you enjoyed this video and you think this video could be insightful for someone else. And I will see you guys next video.